Hello, hello, everyone. Welcome to another fantastic WeVideo webinar. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are tuning in to us today. I'm really excited. This is a special webinar, and we're going to have a few guests on to share all about how we celebrate youth voices through storytelling. I am Ryan Kochevar, your host of today's webinar. I am the Director of Customer Marketing here at WeVideo, and I am just so pleased to be here with you. And at this time, I'm going to go ahead and welcome my co-hosts. We have Stu Jernigan from the WeVideo team. Hey, Stu, how you doing?
Hey, doing well, Ryan. Hi, everybody. Thanks for being here.
And we've got David Hutler from the Book Creator team here with us today as well. Hey, David.
What's up, everybody? Very excited to be here, as always, but I'm always excited. You know me.
Yeah, this is the second webinar that we've done together, David. We did one last year as well, and I just love your energy and enthusiasm, particularly on the topic of storytelling. And WeVideo and Book Creator have become good friends at this point, and it's just our tools work so well together to bring stories to life for our students. And so it's always great to have you on talking about those important topics.
Oh, I feel the same way. We love when people are bringing their WeVideo videos and they're dropping them into a book, and then using all of the wonderful features of Book Creator to get those videos out in front of people. So it's definitely a match made in heaven. I wouldn't miss it for the world, Ryan.
Yeah, absolutely. And so today we're going to take you through the partnership for the Be an Author Month, both the event and the competition that our tools came together for an app smash for. We're going to show you an example that Stu designed to share how you can utilize both WeVideo and Book Creator. And then we're going to have a discussion about storytelling and the importance of how you can bring that aspect of school to all subjects, not just literacy and not just ELA, but to bring stories into other parts of the curriculum is a really powerful way to motivate and inspire students. But before we dive in, I just wanted to go ahead and run down some housekeeping for you all. So if you are watching us live and you have to leave early, or you're not able to join for the whole time, or you've joined late, you can watch a recording of this webinar by visiting our resource center. We'll drop that link in the chat for you. That's wevideo.com/resource-center. And I'll get that into the chat for you here in just a moment. If you have technical difficulties, try refreshing your browser, close unnecessary tabs. Excuse me. Also make sure your volume on your computer is turned up. That will help you access all of the amazing content that we're going to share with you today. And then if you have questions or you need help, excuse me, send a message to our team using either the QA widget, or you can drop your question or comment in the chat. So with that, we're going to get going here. And I'm going to go ahead and share our creative challenge page as we talk you through and walk you through how this partnership kind of formed and what it was all about, so that you can visit this page as well. I'm going to go ahead and drop a button here that you can go ahead and click our creative challenge page and head over there and follow along with us. This is where is our hub for where you're going to get all the information about what our tools did together. And if you are new to WeVideo, there is a button at the bottom to get access to a trial, so you can jump in and create all of the amazing projects that you're going to see here today. So Be an Author Month, a really great partnership with our friends at Book Creator, celebrating personal narrative. So we created 3 assignments in the WeVideo Assignment Ideas Library for you to access and design, which is founded and framed with personal narrative in mind, to then go ahead and create a book out of and submit that for our creative challenge and for the Book Creator competition. And as you all know, or if you're new to WeVideo, we are a really powerful video creation tool in which we utilize the concepts of multimodality to really impact communication. So student voice, student choice comes through incredibly strong when you're activating the method of video to use in your the showcase of your learning. So that's kind of what we're going to share with you today, how you can utilize video to tell your story and the impact it can have. And so on this page, right, we've got instructions on how you can participate in the challenge. And the challenge is still running. I know it is March 27th, but it is still running throughout the remainder of this week and into next week. So we'll cover that as well. And David will share with you a little bit about the competition generally. But you can find information on how you can participate here, how you can submit your digital book, and then you can see the example that we'll share with you today as well. Stu's going to take you through how he created that and the way that you can access that. Of course, you're attending our webinar, hopefully here today. We've got a blog about how you can utilize WeVideo and Book Creator together. And then again, if you want access to WeVideo, if you're new to us, please go ahead and sign up for that free trial so you can access all of the tools that you're going to use to create your story. And with that, I'm going to turn it over to David. He's going to do a quick intro of Book Creator and talk about his competition as well.
Yeah, absolutely. Thanks, Ryan. Really excited that we were able to partner for Be an Author Month. This is the second year in a row where we've really smashed our two apps together for the month of March. And so why the month of March? A lot of folks ask, Be an Author Month is something that Book Creator coined and has brought to the surface in March, simply because it's just a time when writing and literacy takes center stage in a lot of curriculums and a lot of classrooms across a lot of curriculums. And so all through month, we're celebrating authorship, being an author. And this year in particular, and Ryan, if you want to throw my screen up there, this particular year, we're really talking about personal narratives and telling your story. And that's really why WeVideo and Book Creator are just a match made in heaven for this, because our competition is trying to get you to tell this personal narrative in whatever voice you find comes to life, right? And so maybe that's your typing, but maybe that also means that you're making a video, or that you're using images, or that you're using your camera, and whatever way it is that you tell your personal story, we want to see that. And Book Creator is a place that holds all of those. So if you're not familiar, Book Creator is really the simplest, most inclusive way to create content in your classroom. And students love it, teachers love it. But really what happens here is that every student in every subject for just about any project or lesson can use Book Creator, because we're a blank canvas open creation platform where you can bring in videos or make your own videos, images, GIFs, record your voice, use text to speech, speech to text, writing, all of it, right? So it's a book, but it's way more than a book. And so we pride ourselves in being really that Swiss Army knife in the classroom, and pairing so nicely with tools like like WeVideo, because we are the best last app in every great app smash, right? It doesn't matter what you're using, you can put it into a Book Creator at the very end and present it to parents, teachers, the community, and get these amazing feedback and amazing stats that makes every lesson authentic for your students. So we're super excited to be doing this competition. You can find out more at bookcreator.com/competition. And we'll put the link in the chat down there. You can win fabulous prizes. We've got template books that you can use to get involved. And these have places in them where the students are asked to tell their story, but also where they can embed the video that they made in WeVideo. And that's really the importance. And what we're here to talk to you about today is this competition, which, like Ryan said, is ending next week, but that's the beginning of the WeVideo competition. And so this is not a wasted effort. And as we're going to talk about here in a second, anytime we're teaching storytelling and having students tell their story, we're just strengthening their ability to communicate, to be active members of their community and society, to be good people in general, right, Ryan? I mean, storytelling is the bread and butter of life, of everything. It's huge.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think that's, before we get into kind of the examples of what you can do with these projects and these examples, and Stu's going to take you through some of the assignments that he created for this project specifically. But the storytelling is, again, like I said earlier, it doesn't have to be siloed into the language arts classroom, right? Or the social studies classroom. It really can fit anywhere in the curriculum. And I think, we have examples from our users that demonstrate that. And particularly two of my favorite educators from Palm Springs. So shout out to Jessica Pack and Georgia Terlahi. They really turned me on to the idea of storifying the curriculum. They have this concept where they're building in opportunities to utilize storytelling tools like WeVideo, like Book Creator in their curriculum, but not just in language arts, right? In math, telling stories in math, telling stories in science. And they have this really great project that they share about how chemicals in our brain actually are released when we tell stories, and it helps support long-term and short-term memory, and it makes learning stickier. By the act of telling a story helps to make learning stickier, and it really motivates students. And especially when you layer the concepts of personal narrative on top of that, you get this meaningful, personal, real world connection to content that you might not if you didn't think about how you can layer the student's voice into what you're doing. So I know all of us were in the classroom at one point in time. So I just want to hear from you guys, right? Like examples of where you see the impact of storytelling on students. Either of you can jump in and share kind of what your thinking is there.
I could talk about this till I'm blue in the face, but I want to give Stu a chance to jump in.
Yeah, I mean, that's a great question. Obviously, like personal narratives and narrative writing and reading are a key part of the language arts curriculum. And I think, one of the things we talk about in WeVideo a lot in our webinars and PD is the importance of community building, right? Establishing relationships between students and between the teacher and students. And that when, students have feel a sense of belonging and confidence and connection to a learning community in the classroom, they're more willing to take risks. And, all of that sort of pays dividends throughout the school year. In terms of amplifying the learning that they're able to do in the classroom. And, one of the ways they get to know each other is through storytelling, right? It's sharing your story, it's sharing who you are, it's bringing your identity, your experience, your past into the classroom and making connections with people. And I think people really, I see students really getting, deeply engaged in projects where they're able to tell their story and, they're sort of centered, that as though their story matters, which it does, right? And so I think that's sort of one of the key things about storytelling.
Yeah, and Kim's comment in the chat here, in secondary school, it's really empowering for students to demonstrate their identity. It sort of speaks to what you were saying, right? Like that's incredibly powerful. And I know the work that you've done in the past in your time in San Francisco was doing just that, right? Empowering students, demonstrating their identities, really leaning into their stories and connecting that to content is just such a powerful way to educate.
Yeah, one of the projects that gained a lot of traction there was an oral history podcasting project, which in WeVideo you can export as video and podcast and GIF. But where students got to interview somebody who worked on a cause or an issue or in a field that was interesting to them, and then turn that interview into a podcast. And essentially, they're building a historical archive, right? So they're also sort of acting like historians. So there's just so much you can do to make learning authentic through storytelling.
For sure.
I love hearing you talk about that too. A good friend of mine, Michael Hernandez, is an author, has written a book, Storytelling with Purpose. And really the crux of the book is that you can create these uncheatable assessments, right? If you're having the students do something that requires originality, that has that personal connection, like Ryan, you were just saying, and Stu, you're just saying, and then have really like a purpose within their life and their greater community, you can connect the curriculum to the community, you can connect them to their passions. And yeah, exactly what we're talking about. You create this authentic thing that suddenly doesn't need to have a deadline or an end date, and it becomes a passion and can be layered on and multiplied too. But that's the best case scenario, right? Then you throw on the layers of all the mess that we have to deal with as teachers, and it gets a lot harder. And so I think teachers are constantly looking for a balance between a tech tool that's not going to get in the way of that student expression, but is also going to enhance the lesson and allow it to kind of reach a deeper outcome more efficiently or less time. technology is not supposed to make things harder, and the magic is in the student, not the tech. And so,
Right.
yeah, I think that's what I really like about our two tools is we're simple, we're focused, we're easy for students to use.
The
Yeah,
magic is in the
it's
student. I
exciting.
love that. I love that phrase. And that's so true. And like, I think it's a perfect segue to showing off what this project can do to celebrate your story. And I think that's a great foundation to use when you're thinking about this, not just the competition, but storytelling in general, right? Celebrating your voice and youth voice, and specifically when we're talking here. And you said it perfectly, right? Simple tools, don't get in the way. And videos, again, video is an amazing tool to use to communicate who you are. And it's powerful because it's multimodal. Again, and I brought that up at the beginning, and I'll continue to say that. You can use audio, images, video, right? Video clips, text to communicate whatever it is. This specific activity is about you, but it can be about something you're learning or a concept you're mastering, whatever it is. The use of video really is a powerful and impactful communication tool. So Stu, I'm going to turn it over to you. Take us through your story. It's a fantastic story, honestly. And I'm so grateful to have Stu here to share it with you and to show you what you can do to translate this into your classroom.
Cool. Yeah. I'm excited to share this. So I use the template that Book Creator set up, first of all, which is a fabulous template. I made, bringing this sort of project to life, super simple. So I just kind of want to like take you through that template, first of all. So this is sort of how they've set it up. You put your name in, you have an about the author page, you've got space to add, your story, your images, or your media, and sort of fill that out. And so the first thing I did is sort of, I had a vision for, how I wanted to plug into this book. So I had this story that I've been wanting to tell. I've been wanting to like create a video for this story for, I think this was in 2018, basically since then, for the last 6 years. And I've started it, and then it's fell to the wayside. So thank you, David and Book Creator team, for giving me the opportunity to finally finish this project. But it was about this trip that I went on in Alaska. And so I just kind of tweaked the template a little bit, because I wanted to put this like video in of just like a fun animation of my name. This is an activity that comes from our assignment library. It's called Design Your Name, where, you create a motion graphic for your name that expresses your personality. So I'll just turn the funk music off there, but
Funky.
the one I created. I mean, I love the music, but just so we can talk over it. But just a fun little motion graphic. What does this express about me? It's colorful, it's vibrant, it's a fun sort of it's set to a fun motion. So meant to sort of express my personality in that way. And then yeah, like I love the way you guys have set this up, being able to sort of put the text in, pair it with images, and really have this story kind of come to life and be shared in a vibrant way. And then I ended up making a documentary of the video. So we're not gonna like watch this, but you guys can check it out on your own time. But maybe I'll just play it while we're talking. See if I can turn the audio off.
It's a fantastic story, Stu. It's like, it's such a cool experience. If you have the time and you're seeing how you can communicate through video, Stu does a really great job with this story. And it's an exciting adventure too. It's such an easy watch because it's really exciting.
Thank you. Yeah. So what I did is I wrote the story, right, that you see on the page, the text that you see on the page, and then that became the script for the voice recording. So then, I wrote the story, I filled the pages of the book, and then, when I wanted to make my video, went into WeVideo, used the voice recorder to record my voice reading the script, and then, I had a bunch of video footage from this trip that I was able to pair to, bring the story to life. But if and that might be the case if you're running an activity like this with students, they might have video footage of the story they want to tell, or photographs. But if not, we have a stock media library with over 1 million video clips, images, and audio clips, and they can find imagery and video clips to sort of match the topic of their story through the stock media library. And then the last thing was filling out this about the author page. And so I just wanted to give a couple different examples. I'd probably, if I was actually doing this, just, choose one. But I made like an about me video that's just, we have a couple activities in the assignment library. One is called Introduce Yourself. One's called Me in Three. Me in Three is just sort of a shorter, more simplified version, and then the Introduce Yourself, it can just be a little bit longer of a video, but same concept basically. Create a video about yourself, introducing yourself. It's a great community building activity we were sort of talking about before. And then this one was just, instead of a photo, turn the music down there. Instead of a photo, it's just taking a photo and then using the stock media library with, the various sort of background motion videos that you can add as the background to just add motion to the image. So that's essentially what that is. And there are a lot of fun things you can play around with. Like, I searched like texture in the stock media library and found like a paintbrush texture that's sort of in motion, and layered that on top and just brought the opacity down. So it would create sort of a textured lower frame rate sort of effect. So there's a lot you can kind of do, within the editor. And then the background is like several different backgrounds layered over each other, and just playing with the opacity to bring some of them in and bring some of them out, and kind of switch back and forth.
A fantastic project. And today's webinar is not necessarily to dive in and show you the step-by-step instructions on how to design within WeVideo. But I will definitely jump in and show you how you can access these assignments. I think that'll be something we can share. But Stu, it's just like, this is so you. I know you well, but I would say that you're spot on with the name. That is so Stu, and the about the author. I can tell you, like, it's a great encapsulation of who you are. You go through this book and you will know about Stu, and I think the core essence of who he is, which is really amazing about this project. And what I love about App Smashing WeVideo and Book Creator is that you create the content in WeVideo and you share it and package it as a story in Book Creator. It's just such a great container for sharing your work.
Yeah, I mean, I have to say, like I said, the template is great, and I had fun kind of like remixing the template a little bit, thinking about like visual design, and then also just like I loved going back to this experience and revisiting some of the video clips and thinking about how I wanted to write the story for the book and compiling this. At the end, I felt really proud. I actually like shared this with a couple friends, and some of the people that were on the trip, I sent it to them. It's just, you end up with an artifact when you create media and you compile it into a book in Book Creator. You end up with an artifact that you feel proud of and you want to share with others. And I think that's one of the beautiful things. Different from, hey, complete this assignment and turn it into the teacher. That can be kind of like a low culminating moment for something that, like, theoretically a student put so much energy into learning the content and synthesizing their thoughts. But here you have something that you're really proud of and you can share with others, and it's like a feel-good moment at the end of a
Can I jump in there? Because I want to share something about Book Creator that helps kind of illustrate your point. Because you're a grown man, and you made a Book Creator book, and you were excited about sharing it with your friends. Like, if it works for you, trust me,
Yeah.
our 9-year-olds and our 14-year-olds are going to be jazzed about this, right? Ryan, can you put my screen on stage?
Yes.
I just want to show. So Stu mentioned like 5 or 6, or he mentioned several different WeVideo activities, and I just want to show the teacher guidebook here just really quickly, because in the teacher guidebook for our competition, we actually have a page all about WeVideo, and it's suggesting the design your name one, that visual thing that you saw of Stu, and then the Me in Three, I don't think was on there, but essentially these are WeVideo activities that you can have your students do that would fit really well into the template for your personal narrative. So I just wanted to throw that out there. But then additionally, I just want to share this really quickly, because you were talking about like, oh, I shared this with my friends and I wanted to, see how it does. When you publish a book, you get analytics on the
That's
book. And so you can actually see the number of people who've read it and where they've read it. And you get this like map where you can see all the places your book has been opened. And if you want to see excitement in a child's face, do this. And then over the weekend, like post all of your students' work or something to your like Instagram or your Facebook, and have people authentically read their work. Like, you know, there's a real audience, and come in on Monday and just tell them to open up the map. And they will be checking that map every single day for the rest of the school year, looking to see who has read their book. And then the next time you assign a book creator activity and you say, oh yeah, we'll be publishing that online, just watch how they change their behavior when it comes to what they put in that book and how hard they work on it, how many resources they're willing to skip to get into that book.
And that's the cool thing about like talking, when Stu was talking about like the activity that just doesn't end in the classroom, right? It's and you create your story and you want to share the work that you put so much time in, right? You're editing your videos, you're creating media, you're putting it in a container to share it, and then it gets out to the world. And then now you're getting the feedback of, oh my gosh, people are actually watching this and reading my work or viewing my work. It's a really powerful connection to how we can elevate youth voice, right? And that's the title of this webinar, right? Celebrate youth voice through storytelling. This is exactly what we're talking about, right? It's the celebration of who they are, the work they've put in school, and it's not just your teacher that's watching it, which is a great point. I think that encapsulates why our tools work so powerfully together. Is because the act of creation is meaningful and the sharing of that creation is meaningful. And just real quick, I wanted to show all of you what Stu was talking about and David was talking about access to the activities for the book in your WeVideo subscription. You can access those through the assignment ideas library. Now, of course, you can jump in and just start creating right away. And this gets you right to our blank canvas to start editing and creating media, GIFs, podcasts, or videos. But you can also utilize our assignment ideas library, which again is a huge asset in our product to provide you turnkey projects that you can use with students in a couple clicks, or you can be inspired by and create your own. They're entirely editable, and you can differentiate them for the different grade levels that you serve. But I'm going to search here the Me in 3 assignment. Should come up. Here's a couple of the ones that we were talking about. The Introduce Yourself assignment, I think, is one that's good. The Me in 3 is right here. So if you click in here, you're going to have the sample video. It's going to give you the project components, and it's also going to take you through some teacher notes. So this one here, again, shout out to our Palm Springs educators, Jessica and Georgia. They were the creators of this activity, and it's available to you in our assignment ideas library, and you can quickly save this to your class as a draft, edit it, publish it to your students, and get them creating right away for this project or beyond, right? And I think that's something, it's a good segue into talking about, while yes, this competition might be coming to a close, you can still, right, teach.
Never.
Outside of the
yeah. Turns out you can tell your story any day of the week. Yeah. It's anytime you want. It's all good.
And again, just how you can find how to participate, you can head over to WeVideo.com/creative-challenge/WeVideo-book-creator. That's a long link, but also you can click
bookcreator.com/competition
or bookcreator.com/competition to submit as well. And those links I put in the chat for you. But again, right? Yes, April 5th is the deadline to submit, but April and May, June, July, August, September, October, the whole year is your canvas to teach and incorporate storytelling using these tools to really help elevate and celebrate youth voice. And so, just on that topic, just any closing thoughts from Stu or David about like opportunities that people can take in their classroom to make use of either these templates or other activities that you find that could be applicable year round?
I mean, I think any teacher who's just hesitant to dive in with tech, start small. Don't be afraid to start with a blank canvas and let the kids work from a checklist or a rubric to show what they know. And don't be afraid of videos that aren't of the greatest, highest quality just at the beginning. It's a process, it's a tool, and you need to sharpen the tool slowly over time.
Yeah, absolutely. It's a great point.
Yeah, I think also just like something like this is sort of a great starting point in a way, because I often encourage people to start with having students tell their own story. Like that gives them an opportunity to kind of get familiar with the technology while they can talk about something that's like very familiar to them. It lowers the cognitive load. They don't have to think about like new content and learning technology at the same time, and so that can be kind of a nice bridge into then using these tools throughout the year.
Absolutely.
Yeah, that is a fantastic point. There's just less cognitive load when you're talking about yourself.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. Real world connections too. I brought this up earlier, but it's like it's also just connecting school to their lives, and I think that's an important point that shouldn't be missed in all of this. It's just it's the more opportunities you have to connect a student's life to what they're learning in school, it's going to be more motivating for them. And you find that across a ton of disciplines. But again, video is an amazing way to share that and to really deepen those connections. I wanted to take a chance to look through the chat, see if we had any questions or comments that wanted to be addressed. But if you had any questions, throw those in the chat, and we can, while we have the next couple minutes, we can go ahead and respond.
And just, the contest ends April 5th. Is that right?
Yep.
Ours ends on April 5th. Yes.
Okay.
We were running ours in conjunction with yours, so we'll have April 5th is kind of like our. Yeah. Also, we're gonna run into another creative challenge in April, so we can be on the lookout for that challenge as well. Yeah, we've been talking to our users all month long about submitting for in both places. You can submit your book and tag us at WeVideo on social, hashtag WeVideo Creative, or you can submit your book through that Book Creator link as well.
2 chances to win.
Ingrid, yeah.
Yep, exactly.
Ingrid's asking if it's worldwide. Absolutely, we'll take submissions from any country for Book Creator for sure.
Oh, same. Yeah, always.
Yeah, and then for us, you're welcome to use AI generated images in your personal narrative. It just needs to make sense why you would be using an AI generated image, right? And like don't use it if you don't need it, kind of, so to speak. But yeah, we're fine with AI generated images as well.
Yep. And you can bring in any image file, or not. I mean, I shouldn't say any, but it's an extensive list of image files that you can bring into WeVideo as well, and use images in the creation of your videos.
Nice. I have to just say that we just integrated with Adobe Firefly, and you can now generate Adobe Firefly images right inside of your book, inside of Book Creator. But
that is sweet.
Just a simple plug at the end.
Yeah, for sure. But there's many ways, many different kinds of content. WeVideo has a stock media library of over 1.1 million royalty-free assets. So again, like
that's insane.
You can go in. You don't have to capture your own footage. We've got the webcam recorder that you can use to record you or your screen to talk directly into the editor, and then use B-roll in your stories from the stock media library. That's just a fancy term for footage that you might be narrating over. And you can create your project from just media that we allow you to have access to inside of your subscription.
That's huge. That's huge. That media library is amazing. That's massive. And like what Stu had, like backgrounds and anyway.
Exactly.
Guys, this has been awesome. I really appreciate this. This has been great. I really hope that WeVideo folks understand just how obvious and easy it is to use these two platforms together. So thanks for having me.
Absolutely. And again, this is I love doing these webinars with David and Stu, because again, you can tell the passion and the energy they have for this topic, and the passion and the energy that we all have for our tools, but also for app smashing and giving teachers and students an easy and simple way to enhance their lessons and bring stories to life in all subject areas and in all grade levels, right? This project is perfectly acceptable for a kindergartner, and it's perfectly acceptable for a senior in high school, because at the core of it is empowering them to share their story with the world. And so thank you both for being on today. Thank you for joining us. Again, if you want to watch the recording of this, you're going to go ahead and head over to our resource center. And if we could get the link dropped in, I think I have somebody in the chat. We could get that link dropped in for you there. It was on our text slide, but that's where you will go to grab the recording of this and rewatch it, watch it, share it with your friends. It doesn't have to be just today or just this week or just this month that you participate in storytelling, the act of storytelling. So thank you again. David, again, thank you so much. Stu, thank you. And we will see you all for the next one. Bye now, everybody.
Take care.
Take care. Happy bookmaking.